Thank you for taking some time for yourself. Depression sucks the absolute life right out of you. You get up and immediately uniform yourself in the standard mental health clothes, the same exhausted tracksuit day after day that seamlessly doubles as pajamas. And on the rare occasion you actually drag yourself out of the house, it's all black, like you're attending a funeral for a future you haven't even lived yet. If you've been drinking or getting high to numb the static, out come the black tights. Your legs might look okay, but your size fluctuates so radically from the stress that at least you know the spandex will stretch to fit the damage. Life feels like it couldn't get any worse. You take a breath and your lungs feel heavy, toxic and strained. You aren't looking after yourself, and the broken program in your brain keeps looping on the ultimate optimization error. Why even bother? And while you listen to my voice, I wonder whether your unconscious mind has noticed how closely this personal routine matches a staggering national trend. You can allow yourself to realize that 19% of US adults are actively being treated for depression, and nearly 1 in 3, 29%, have received a lifetime diagnosis. That is an estimated 51 million people running a similar code, representing a 60% increase over the last decade. It's a massive, collective software glitch, but right now, it's looping in your skull. Acknowledge this tracksuit loop for the junk data it is, and prepare to terminate the process. Here is the cold, calculated truth. If you do absolutely nothing about this right now, the system will continue to degrade. A newer person who experienced sitting in that exact same tracksuit, inhaling that heavy air and running these exact same loops, only to discover they were actively coding their own crash. Look at the demographic data for young adults. Depression rates have more than doubled since 2017, skyrocketing from 13 to 28%, while older generations are stabilizing. Younger cohorts are letting the deterioration compound. You can allow yourself to see that 1 month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, the fabric of those clothes wears out, but the habit becomes permanent hardware. Stagnation is a deliberate decision to rot. The future where you remain a passive bystander to your own decay is completely unacceptable. Move past it immediately. Got it? Perfect. Total security swipe. Scrubbing that entirely from the system record. We are keeping the focus strictly on the structural weight of the data and the clinical breakdown of the layers without crossing into that territory. Here is the clean, balanced script with that variable permanently deleted. You can allow yourself to deeply understand just how exhausted you are from carrying this weight. makes complete sense that you'll want to check out mentally when the systemic burden feels this massive. I wonder whether you can hold space for yourself as you look at the math of the financial stress, knowing that 37% of adults in households earning under $24,000 report current depression, suffering at nearly 3 times the rate of higher income brackets due to economic anxiety. It is an incredibly heavy burden, and it's not your fault that the world feels this expensive and exhausting. But because your energy is so precious right now, you cannot afford to let the loop of financial worry or self-neglect consume what little fuel you have left. When you look at an incoming thought or daily habit, you can ask yourself with gentle, protective logic, if I execute this action right now, what is the exact real-world response? You can choose to wear a pair of jeans instead of that same tracksuit around the house, just to see how a simple shift in wardrobe changes your posture. You can choose to eat a piece of fruit, even if your taste buds don't entirely like it at first, just to give your system clean fuel. You can choose to take a short walk, even if it's just to the end of the block and back, to break the physical stagnation. If an action or a thought leads to further physical and mental bankruptcy, you can choose to protect your peace. If you cut the feed and choose a micro action, like putting on real clothes or stepping outside, the output is a quiet, safe reset. You can allow yourself to realize that you are the one who gets to decide which files are allowed to run in this sacred space. Let's look at major depressive disorder with a deep sense of compassion for everything you've been up against. It's a multi-level system, highly complex and heavily stratified. And anyone caught in this orbit is doing the very best they can to survive it. You can experience a gentle shift in perspective as we acknowledge how these heavy layers impact different lives without judgment. On level 1, it's the physical hardware, the shallow breathing, the substance fog, and the physical neglect that happens simply because you're too tired to move. On level 2, it's a profound demographic disparity. While women report a higher lifetime diagnosis rate of depression compared to men, the clinical complexity hits everyone intensely, whether it's women balancing more compounding layers of trauma, burnout, anxiety, and grief all at once, or men carrying silent, heavy pressures in complete isolation. The The system squeezes everyone differently. On level 3, it's a regional macro anomaly. If you look at the demographic data, places like West Virginia and Oregon see mental illness touch up to 31% of the population, while Utah leads the nation with 8% serious mental illness rate due to localized economic stagnation and substance data. You can allow yourself to breathe a sigh of relief as you realize that you don't need to heal the systemic disconnect of the entire nation. Carry the weight of these statistics or fix the global economy today. You only need to take care of this one small corner of the world right here. Isolate the variables. Forgive yourself for the macro chaos and gently optimize your immediate workspace. Consider the systemic disconnect out there. 52% of US adults who need services never successfully access care because they face a triple squeeze, where 50% cut back on health services to save money, and 54% are exhausted stretching their funds. It is entirely valid to feel overwhelmed when the world outside offers so little support to the people who need it most, because the external system is squeezed. You can allow your subconscious to build a protective sanctuary inside. I wonder if your brain can install a permanent, compassionate firewall in your prefrontal cortex right now. You can have a specific experience of running every looping thought or urge to neglect yourself through a high-speed diagnostic dashboard, checking in with yourself to see what you actually need. Personal satisfaction. Does indulging this specific thought or wearing these pajamas for the third day straight genuinely comfort or optimize my immediate state? Compromise. Is this a brief, necessary pause where I honor my grief before moving on? Compliance. Am I just mindlessly obeying a heavy, old habit because the depression is telling me I don't deserve to wear nice clothes, eat fresh food, or go outside? If it's just blind compliance to the illness, you will likely and firmly hit pause instantly. You can protect yourself from your own dark thoughts. If it passes the check and offers you real healing, like choosing the jeans, the fruit, or the walk, you can proceed. Perfect. Now you can give yourself permission to step away from the struggle. Unzip the tracksuit. Step cleanly out of the heavy, neglected physical casing. You can allow yourself to climb the ladder, completely out of the noise. You will ascend straight up into the freezing, absolute clarity of the upper stratosphere, leaving the emotional pain safely on the ground. Up here, at 80,000 feet, the heavy air of the lower world cannot reach you. The sky isn't blue. It's a stark, silent, pitch-black void of pure peace. You can experience the profound sensation of looking out of the canopy and seeing the sharp, bright blue, curved edge of the earth, contrasting against space. You are a completely detached, objective observer, safe and untouched. The tracksuit, tights, the substances, the painful percentages, and the 51 million running the depression code are just tiny, distant weather patterns floating miles below your orbit. They are down there, but you are up here. They do not touch you. You are completely separated from the heat, resting in absolute quiet orientation. And from this high, quiet place, you don't just stay detached in space. You can allow yourself to gently drift back down, landing somewhere entirely peaceful. Imagine a sanctuary, perhaps a quiet, sun-warmed beach where the waves roll in with absolute rhythm, or a silent sunlit clearing in the forest where the air is perfectly clean and grounded. You land softly, your feet connecting with this peaceful earth, completely separated from those old emotional loops, carrying only clear, objective calm into this safe space. I knew someone who experienced a sudden beautiful realization of their own resilience after overriding an automatic system behavioral loop using raw, deliberate command logic. It takes incredible courage to pause, a lifetime of hurt, choose to wear something different, eat something life-giving, and decide to step outside. You can praise yourself for accessing the literal administrative privilege to pull the plug on the neglect whenever you choose. You can honor the part of you that decided to sit here and fight for your own well-being. Perfect. You run the hardware. The hardware doesn't run you. Later, you could do this anywhere, whenever the world feels like it's too much. This operational macro is now written deeply into your master boot record. Tomorrow, when the morning tries to hand you that uniform of defeat, or a wave of cognitive fatigue tries to slow down your processing speed, I wonder whether your mind will automatically flag the intrusion with a sense of deep, protective self-preservation. You can have the specific experience of this exact, calm, stratospheric detachment, and that soft landing into your peaceful sanctuary, generalizing to that specific moment, the moment the old loop tries to start. Your mind will instantly prompt you: wear the jeans, taste the fruit, take the walk. The diagnostic dashboard will deploy automatically. You will see the glitch, gently terminate the process, and maintain your trajectory. Commit the code to the hard drive, letting the peace of that grounded, quiet sanctuary settle deep in your bones. You can allow yourself to gradually bring your awareness back online, carrying this tangible, real-world strength with you. Feel the physical machine resting firmly in the chair, supported, safe, and completely grounded on this earth. Notice the temperature of the room. Take a sharp, clean, deep breath, clearing out the lungs and fully re-oxygenating the system with fresh, life-giving air. The update is complete. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. You can lock onto your targets and get to work with absolute clarity. Take a few deep breaths, stretch out, wriggle your fingers and toes, and if you haven't already, open your eyes. Welcome back. You are perfect, just as you are.